Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today I will analyze the case of Bonnie Blue. First I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the incident, then offer my analysis. Tia Billinger was born in 1999 and lived in Nottingham, England. She went by the name Bonnie Blue. Bonnie worked as a recruiter before becoming active in the production of clothing-challenged videos in 2023. By this time, she was living in Australia. At first, she worked as a webcam model, then she started an account on OnlyFans. This is a subscription website which primarily features content creators involved in adult videos. Believing that 18 and 19-year-old men were her target audience, Bonnie video recorded herself having sex with a large number of them. Later, she added married men to her list of participants. Bonnie's strategy involved advertising her address and telling men they could have sex with her for free as long as they agreed to have the interactions filmed and used online. Bonnie claimed that she had sex with hundreds of men under this arrangement. In November 2024, Bonnie Blue appeared on the ITV show This Morning, where she argued with the quasi-celebrity Ashley James. The Office of Communications, or Ofcom, received 188 complaints about Bonnie's appearance on This Morning. Later this same month, Bonnie was banned from Australia after violating the terms of her tourist visa. She traveled to Fiji and performed with another OnlyFans creator. Bonnie and her acquaintance were banned from Fiji. Now moving to the timeline of the incident. In January 2025, Bonnie Blue claimed that she had sex with 1,057 men in a 12-hour period. This marathon supposedly took place in an $18 million mansion on Portland Place in London. Bonnie had video recorded her adventure and posted it on OnlyFans. However, the platform later deleted the video. A statement from OnlyFans read, quote, "OnlyFans is a platform designed for creators who have completed our comprehensive onboarding process and chose to monetize their content. To keep our community safe, OnlyFans also verifies the age, identity, and consent of all parties featured in explicit content on OnlyFans. We do not allow a large number of non-OnlyFans creators to be featured on an account, even where release forms have been provided," unquote. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. Many people question whether Bonnie Blue actually completed the marathon as she indicated, noting that providing services to 1,057 men in 12 hours would be logistically challenging. The record for the most sexual interactions with men in a day had been set in 2004, when an adult film actress named Lisa Sparks had sex with 919 men in Poland. An OnlyFans creator named Lily Phillips had sex with 101 men in October 2024. This happened in a residence in the West London area of Chelsea. Lily announced plans to break 1,000 in January or February 2025. However, it appears as though Bonnie beat her to it. Bonnie claimed that Lily took her idea of having sex with 1,000 men in a day. I have a separate video about the adventure of Lily Phillips. Even attempting to have sex with 101 men was very challenging for her. There are all kinds of problems organizing and executing such a complicated mission. It's easy to appreciate why so many people doubt Bonnie's claim if Lily struggled so much with a much smaller number. Bonnie talked about the day of her adventure, saying that the room where the sex took place was absolutely full. She serviced groups of 5 men. One person would watch while she was with someone else. And then, quote, "It would literally just be like a rotating circle like that," unquote. A member of Bonnie's public relations team said that Bonnie, quote, "slept with 1,057 people. As she hit 1,000, there were still 57 left in the queue who Bonnie wanted to pleasure before ending the 12-hour day," unquote. Defending her record, Bonnie said, "The numbers are true." This brings me to the question, was Bonnie telling the truth when she claimed to have sex with 1,057 men in 12 hours? Let's take a look at the evidence both for and against the idea that she was telling the truth, starting with the factors that support this theory. Before the platform OnlyFans deleted it, Bonnie had some video evidence of an event at a mansion. There were many men there, Presumably, these were the men who participated in the marathon. An unemployed security guard gave an interview to the media saying that he had been in line for the event. He dropped out because he realized the participants did not get one-on-one time with Bonnie. This should have been pretty easy to figure out based on the numbers, but I guess the guy didn't do the math. The man did not actually count the number of men in the mansion, but said the mansion was full. He believed that Bonnie had accomplished her goal. Now moving to the factors that contradict the theory that Bonnie's claim is true. 1,057 men in 12 hours works out to an average of about 40 seconds per sexual encounter. Bonnie would have needed to service 88 men per hour. This exercise involves more strokes than an Olympic freestyle final. To use an analogy from a foot race, one could think of this as an intense relay where high-speed handoffs and slippery conditions had everybody worried about fumbling the baton. There are many reasons why this adventure would be challenging. For example, organizing this number of men to participate in such a time-limited event would have been difficult. Based on the experiences of Lily Phillips, who again only had sex with 101 men, many men drop out of events like this, so many extra men must be scheduled. There is a high degree of shame with being a participant, which greatly limits the number of people who volunteer. The amount of physical strain on Bonnie's body would have been extremely high. Sex involves movement and, for some people, an emotional investment. Looking at the video from Lily's adventure, she was physically and emotionally exhausted after 101 men. How did Bonnie tolerate being with 1,057 men in less time? Bonnie would need to be almost superhuman. Having this quantity of men hanging around a mansion in London would have attracted a lot of attention. One would think that there would have been more than just an unemployed security guard talking about this experience. There would have been a disruption in traffic. People would have been standing on the sidewalk trying to figure out what was going on. It's hard to believe that Bonnie could pull this off without a lot of people offering commentary. This situation would have been pretty obvious. Furthermore, considering this would have been a record, one would think that Bonnie would want to carefully document her adventure, like she would have video evidence proving her activity with each of the men. Why would she want to risk her record being challenged? It would be fairly easy to document the adventure well enough to remove any doubt. Maintaining a record of who was coming and going seems particularly appropriate and expected under these circumstances. When weighing all the factors in this case, do I believe that Bonnie Blue was telling the truth about being with 1,057 men in 12 hours? In my opinion, no. I do not believe she was telling the truth. There is no way to know for certain, of course. Maybe Bonnie was being honest. If she was telling the truth, Bonnie should have been more careful to memorialize her marathon. She only has herself to blame for the presence of so much doubt. Item number 2, whether Bonnie set a record or not, it's clear that she has attracted a lot of attention in the area of clothing-challenged videos. She has definitely had many sexual encounters with strangers. Bonnie has made it seem like her work is noble, even trying to position herself as an educator. She claimed that she noticed there was a lot of educational content missing from online. Bonnie said, quote, "I'm still learning every day, but my content is educational to those that I'm sleeping with and those that are watching it," unquote. She should have said who are watching it. She suggested that she wanted to educate young men on how to have fun, stay safe, and enjoy a healthy sex life without worrying about the judgment and shame pushed by the older generation. Bonnie has attempted to deflect criticism about her desire to have sex with married men. She indicated that she doesn't feel guilty and thinks it's better if men cheat with her if their wives are not interested in sex. Bonnie said, quote, "If that's the case, the men are going to cheat whether you like it or not. They are the statistics, and that is what people do. And I also think they deserve to enjoy sex," unquote. Bonnie noted that the men are simply following a natural instinct, and there is no intimacy involved in her relationships with the men. She does not even remember their faces by the end of the night. She said, quote, "If they're not sleeping with me, they're probably having an affair in the office or in the gym. With me, it's just an act. I am a girl that sleeps around a lot. The husbands and partners mean nothing to me," unquote. Item number 3, Some people are concerned that Bonnie will face long-term physical and emotional consequences from her highly active lifestyle. One of her friends was concerned that Bonnie's behavior will leave negative energy embedded in the tissues around her pelvis. I'm not sure it makes sense to worry too much about negative pelvis energy, but Bonnie is certainly taking her chances in other ways. Her lifestyle is not sustainable in the long run, but I'm not sure that really matters to Bonnie. This brings me to item number 4. It appears as though Bonnie is highly interested in converting her sexual behavior into financial compensation. When she appeared on ITV's This Morning, she noted that she earned about £600,000 a month. I think that Bonnie was surprised by how profitable her line of work could be, and she decided to go all in. This was really a business decision. Once she committed to this lifestyle, she thought to herself something to the effect of, I might as well go for it and become as controversial as possible. This would result in the highest earning potential. Being a villain probably pays a lot better than being a hero, at least in this line of work. Bonnie even has the support of her parents. Her mother helped her make a sign to attract university students to have sex with Bonnie. I don't know if Bonnie's telling the truth about the 1,057 men, but she's probably telling the truth about the £600,000 a month. Now moving to my final thoughts. The behavior of Bonnie Blue has aggravated a lot of people. They view her as using bad judgment and causing a destruction of morals. It's worth considering that Bonnie's behavior is really just a symptom of a larger problem. The reason she is so popular is tied with the high interest that people have in her message and her lifestyle. She has been particularly well received by the incel community, which is a group of young men who have trouble obtaining sex and are particularly attracted to the idea of commitment-free sex. In theory, if there were more people like Bonnie Blue, incels would not have anything to worry about. She is the solution to their problem. They probably view her less as an entertainer and more as a public utility. Bonnie considers herself to be an educator, and, in a sense, she is teaching a lesson, not in the realm of sex education, rather in economics. Bonnie has offered instruction on the law of supply and demand. What she supplies is in heavy demand. Those are my thoughts in the case of Bonnie Blue. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. When it comes to the area of sex, there's such a high demand among so many people that it really doesn't have to be packaged creatively to make it marketable. It's marketable no matter what. We see the same thing with alcohol. People get all excited because they can drink at a football game, or they can drink in a bar, or they can drink in a theater. It's all just drinking. Drinking is what they really want to do. That's what's attractive. Sex is very similar. We see all these different ways that people package it, like having sex with 1,057 men in 12 hours, but it's all just sex. That is what is attracting people to these types of content creators. They're interested in the sex. The novelty component, like we see in this case, may attract a lot of attention, but that doesn't really matter a lot to people. It's just a way of getting one particular content creator in front of an audience. With Bonnie Blue, she has been very successful. She's managed to stand out in a crowd that's populated with a lot of different content creators. In a sense, she is a pioneer, and she has proven that a person doesn't have to be particularly creative or novel to find success in the area of marketing sex.